What is going on, Knicks fans? Back at it with another New York Knicks video, and I'm sorry I don't have access right now to my original setup, so I had to come out here and film this video. It's going to be the only video for a long time that I'll come out here and film, but usually when I don't have access to my setup, once in a while, I'll just come out here and film a video, on my iPhone, so that's how it's going to be for tonight. I will be back to my, for my original setup for the next video, but just for tonight, I'll be out here to film the video. So I want to talk about potential trades for the New York Knicks upcoming for this team. And the New York Knicks have been a big surprise to a lot of NBA fans. The Knicks currently at it with a 9-11 record. They have the 8th seed right now. They're currently in the playoffs, and if the season ended today, they'd be in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure a lot of NBA fans would not would not expect that, mainly because the New York Knicks have not made the playoffs. It seems like it's been it seems like it's been like 20 years since the Knicks have made the playoffs. It's been a very long time, and I feel like the Knicks are surprising a lot of people, even though they don't have a winning record. The Knicks are surprising a lot of people this year, and I like the way they've been playing basketball, even though they've been inconsistent this year. We're a young team, and you get that a lot from young teams. You're going to look really good one game, you're going to look bad the next game. That's kind of how young teams, that's how they play sometimes. That's how rebuilding teams, that's how they play. And let's hope the Knicks, in the next few years, I feel like will develop, and I think they will become a playoff team, at least in the next few years, maybe even next year, because this Knicks team is definitely heading in the right direction. They've shown a lot of bright spots this year. Guys like R.J. Barrett has been balling out, recently. Emmanuel Quickley has been awesome for the Knicks. He's been one of the best point guards in the NBA this year. Julius Randle, if we don't trade him, has been our best player by far. He's been fantastic. He's been, a little slow lately. Austin Rivers has been a lone bright spot. He's been one of our better, one of our best three-point shooters, and when Austin Rivers is hot, he is dynamic for the Knicks. He's having a really good season. Mitchell Robinson's playing well, very good player, and the Knicks just have a lot of young players that are playing really well, this year. So, those are the guys that, I kind of wanted to talk about, kind of the positive for this team, but let's talk about potential trades for the New York Knicks. And a guy that has been in a lot of Knicks rumors has been Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is a player for the Chicago Bulls, and he is a really, really good player. Definitely a top 50 player in the NBA, really good, one of the, probably the Bulls' best player, and, I don't really know a whole lot, I don't really watch Bulls games, so I don't really watch Zach LaVine that often, but, looking at his highlights and looking at his numbers this year, Zach LaVine has been fantastic for Chicago, and I think we all know Chicago is a rebuilding team right now, and they're looking a way to trade away their pieces, and one of their main pieces is Zach LaVine. I think he's by far their best player, and I think the Bulls are planning on trading him. With the Knicks being in contention for the playoffs, they look like they really want to win right now, and, they're in a position to win. Could the Knicks trade for Zach LaVine? I think they could. I think we do have the pieces to trade for Zach LaVine. I think we do have the pieces to give away to the Bulls, and we could have a potential trade for Zach LaVine. I think Elfrid Payton's the guy we want to get rid of. Elfrid Payton is terrible. But, again, he could be a decent trade piece for the Bulls. I get he has been playing terrible this year, but he's a guy we could trade. Payton's a guy. Other guys we could trade. Maybe Nerlens Noel's a guy. We could also, obviously, we're probably going to give away draft picks, of course, because that's pretty much, they're always involved in pretty much every trade. So we're probably going to give away draft picks in some sort of draft. Maybe not first round, but maybe a second round pick. We're probably going to have to give away some sort of draft picks. We're going to have to give away some sort of current NBA, current player on the Knicks. And a guy like Elfrid Payton could be possible. Maybe a Nerlens Noel could be a guy we could trade. There's other guys, a lot of other players on this team that we could, trade to Chicago. Guys with a lot of upside that we could trade to the Bulls. Maybe Kevin Knox. I don't see it happening, but maybe Kevin Knox is a guy we could possibly trade to the Bulls for Zach LaVine. He's definitely a guy that doesn't really have a huge role on this team. Maybe you want to trade Knox. I'm not a huge Kevin Knox fan. He's been playing pretty well this series, but again, he doesn't really have a main role on this team. And I get he's very young, but maybe he's a guy that we want to get rid of. Maybe we've seen enough of Kevin Knox, and the Knicks don't think he'll become a superstar, as I don't really think Knox is going to become a superstar. Maybe he's a guy we could trade to the Bulls for Zach LaVine. I don't know, but I think Zach LaVine is a guy that the Knicks could potentially trade for, when the deadline pops around. He's a guy I think they could trade for. Another guy that I don't see happening, but another trade that I don't see happening, but this is a guy I want the Knicks to trade for in the worst way, and that is Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is really, really good. And, watching his post-game interviews with the Wizards, He wants the hell out of there. He does not want to be a member of the Wizards anymore. The Wizards are a train wreck of a basketball team. They've been playing awful this year. You know, signing Westbrook and having Bradley Beal on your team, you'd expect the Wizards to be good. Well, the Wizards have been awful. They've been a disaster this year, and they're definitely not, you know, in any position to win right now. I think Bradley Beal is going to request a trade. I really do. And I think the Knicks are a possibility. Now, don't bank on it. I'm not going to bank on Bradley Beal becoming a Knick, but I do think it is possible. Bradley Beal is one of the best guards in the NBA. The guy is an absolute stud. He's a top 30, top 25 player in the game, no doubt about it. He's a really, really good basketball player. He's coming off of a 42-point performance with the Wizards. I believe, I don't remember what team he was against, but he had 42 points in a Wizards loss. The guy he's not going to win anything with the Wizards. Come over to the Knicks, a team that is still rebuilding, but again, heading in the right direction. They've been playing, you know, impressive basketball this year, especially for a team that was predicted to do nothing. The Knicks are playing very solid basketball there. I feel like they're definitely playing a lot better than a lot of, you know, NBA fans and, you know, NBA players expected. So I think Bradley Beal is a possibility for the Knicks. I don't think it's a big possibility. I don't think the Knicks will be the favorites to trade for Bradley Beal, but I do think they have a chance. I think they do have the right pieces to give up for Bradley Beal. If there's anybody else you want to trade for, I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. Those are just two guys I wanted to bring up, potential trades for the Knicks. And, oh, by the way, I kind of plan on switching my content for the Knicks. I kind of want to change it up because I really do enjoy doing the post-game recaps, but I feel like it gets kind of boring after a while. And, you know, I kind of want to switch it up a little bit. I was kind of more about videos, you know, talk about the Knicks, you know, obviously trades, talk about how the Knicks are playing, you know, in a weekly basis, something like that. I won't really have, like, the nightly recaps anymore. I won't have, like, the game, like for each game I'll have a recap for it. I'm not really going to do that anymore. I kind of want to switch up the content, you know, kind of switch up the videos a little bit. So if you guys do enjoy, you know, talking about potential trades for the Knicks, I'd love to know your thoughts on the video, and I'd love to know your thoughts on Bradley Beal and Zach LaVine possibly being a Knick at some point this year. I'd love to know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. The Knicks need a guard. Zach LaVine, I feel like, is the most possible player on the market that could be traded to the Knicks. I think Zach LaVine's the guy that the Knicks could potentially trade for the most. I'd love Bradley Beal to be a Knick. It kind of seems like a pipe dream at this point, but if the Knicks can find a way to trade for Bradley Beal, I'm all for it, because Bradley Beal is one of the most underrated players in the NBA, and he wants the hell out of Washington. I think the Knicks have a chance to get him. If they have a chance to trade for him, they should go all in. So that's going to do it for this video. If there's any guys on the market right now that you would love for the Knicks to trade for, I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. The Knicks playing good basketball, obviously coming off of 3 straight losses. They have a blowout winning against the Cavs last night. Really impressive win. My guy Emmanuel quickly had over 20 points again. The guy's an absolute stud. He better be starting next game against the Clippers tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Emmanuel quickly better be the starting point guard, or I'm going to be mad, because I don't know what he has to do to deserve the spot at this point. I mean, he deserves it. He should be the starting point guard for the rest of the season. I don't know why he hasn't been already, but Emmanuel quickly better start tomorrow, or I'm going to be pissed off. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop your potential trade players you would love to be traded to the Knicks down in the comments below. So that's going to do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you guys next time. Let's go Knicks.